she's terrified, and you can't really blame her. She's had a piece of string tied around her neck.
Stella.
All I want to do is just show her that humans are not as bad as she thinks. What if I put my hand there now? You don't like that, do you? Okay, I'm here with Stella. We've let her calm down for about an hour, and she is buried deep in the corner over there, you can see. But now I'm going to go in and sit with her and show you the process of how we get a dog to slowly open up. And I'm not expecting her to open up massively today, but I'm just going to pop the camera down there so as you can see her in the corner. Now, bear in mind this is a dog. First thing I'm going to do is just give her a little bit of water. I don't think she'll go for it. I'm not even looking at her. All I want to do is just show her that humans are not as bad as she thinks. Bear in mind she's been trying to bite the vets. She tried to bite me and Sybil on the first day. She was trying to bite Sybil as we were getting her out of the box. This is her new little home. So she's incredibly scared, and behind the camera I've actually sort of built a fence there, so there's no way she can escape. Like, all she wants to do at the moment is escape. So this is going to be a longer video. I don't think we're going to make enormous progress today, because, as I said, the only way the vets could treat her was by sedating her. So they were able to get the string off her. I don't really want to make eye contact with her too much. Just let her listen to the voice. I've got some nice treats with me as well. Obviously food should help a little bit, but she's terrified, and you can't really blame her. She's had a piece of string tied around her neck for probably since she was a puppy, it would seem. She looks, when I first rescued her with Sybil, I thought she was about 4 or 5 because she was a bit dirtier. She was stressed and she just looked really old and tired. So it turns out she's only 8 months old, the little girl, which is terrible really, isn't it? I mean, she was slowly being strangled to death. So the vets have taken the string off, and our biggest worry now, the reason I'm doing this, is we have to clean that wound so that it doesn't get infected. But obviously she doesn't like humans. So what I want to do today is just slowly gonna, I mean, this is not going to be a quick process, but I'm slowly going to inch my way back and just make her feel comfortable. I've brought a blanket with her, with me, and treats, and she's curled up into that corner. I just don't want to make any eye contact with her whatsoever. You can tell from her body language she probably wants to lash out at me and bite me, if I'm honest, but we'll see. Her only experience with humans has been incredibly bad. I can tell, I'm not even looking at her, but I can tell by her little fidgety movements that she's thinking in her head, I don't like this guy. How can I escape? And if he comes too close to me, I'm going to ward him off with a bite. You might see her show her teeth, but that's why I'm taking things really, really slowly. It's thirsty work. Also a bit nervous about getting bitten. I don't want to. I've been to the hospital twice with bites. Sybil has had 5 or 6, so neither of us want to get bitten at the moment, but I'll just edge my way back. I'll show her a treat. I can tell you now she probably has absolutely no interest in this treat, but let's see. I think the aim for today would be, even if I could get up sitting beside her on that wall and her not lashing out to bite me, maybe just touch her, the back of her legs, that would be a win for today. You're not gonna, Rome wasn't built in a day. I have the secret weapon, which is this sort of mortadella type sausage, which all the dogs love. If she doesn't go for this, then we're in trouble, because they really love this. You can see that she's had a smell of it, but all she knows her whole life is pain and humans being bad to her. So she looked at it, but she thinks if I take that in my mouth, maybe I'm going to get hit, or maybe I'm gonna get trapped or put in a box or put to sleep in the vets under sedation. You can see the flies are at her a little bit as well, at her wound. So it's really important that we get friendly with her because she needs treatment. We can obviously treat her by sedating her again, would be the only option. We can sneak her medicine into her food in the evenings, in the mornings. She'll probably eat that, antibiotics, etc. But we need to clean the wound. Sybil is very worried. She needs to get spray and I don't know, cleaning ointments onto the wound. So all around her neck she's got a deep wound from where the string was. I should hopefully be able to show you that in a second, but we really need to be able to treat that. So I'm just going to move over to this side. Again, I'm not in any way trying to crowd her out or anything. I'm just talking. You might be sick of my sound of my voice by the end of this video, but I'm really just talking for her sake in a calm, normal voice, not looking at her, not threatening her, and just making her feel like humans are not the worst thing in the world. The fact that she's not eating, I think, tells you everything. But we'll get there. We will get there, madam. Now, what would really help us is a subscribe button down below. That always really helps spread the word about the dogs. Also, I love seeing your comments. I actually answer them here myself, and I love just hearing what people have to say. So any comments, likes or subscribes are always massively appreciated. Now, back in to Stella. Now, one thing I will say is I'm sure there'll be like dog behaviorists or professional trainers, or people who's trainers, people who spend their lives around dogs saying I'm doing stuff wrong, and I'm absolutely sure that I am. Like maybe my body position or stuff like that is wrong. Yeah, I'm not here to tell people how to do this. I'm just here to show people that this is the sort of stuff we have to do, and I've learned this all myself or from little tips that other people have shown me. But these are street dogs. They're not pets. They're essentially wild animals, I think you could say, and she's been under incredible stress with the bite around her neck. I'm just going to move that up there. That's all right. I'm just moving in a little bit closer, madam. But yeah, there's no exact science for this. You can see she's trying to melt into the wall, I would say. She couldn't get any smaller. She wants to make herself as small as she possibly can. Would you have a little bit of mortadella? There you go. We're not all bad here. She probably remembers me from the last time she saw me. I had her in a bag, wrapped in a towel, grabbing her back legs because we had to catch her urgently in that villa to bring her here, or else she was going to die. So she maybe doesn't have the best memories of me, but we're just going to try and stick with it and see how far we can get. I'm just going to pop that blanket over beside you, madam. Do you like that? You can see she's a little bit reactive. Okay, that's all right. It's just a blanket, madam. It's just a blanket. That's all. That's all it is. Now, would you like a little bit of mortadella? I'll just put it down there for you. You don't really like me, do you? We're not here to threaten you. I can tell it's the same as the other day. She doesn't really want to bite me. She wants to show me her teeth, to say, go away, mister, I don't want you here. Humans have been really bad to me. I will just leave that there for you. Look, that's okay. That's okay, madam. And I know a lot of people might say in this situation, my God, just, leave her alone and let her, just she's scared of you, leave her alone. But we actually have to push through this a little bit at the moment because she's had a lot of time to decompress. in the vets, and she's had time here, but you can see her neck now. Hopefully you can see that on the camera, that it's really, really severely cut, and we need to befriend this dog so as we can treat that. So it's not, I'm not surprised she's so scared. Imagine if you had a piece of string tied all the way around your neck and it was getting tighter and tighter. She's only 8 months old, so she's probably still just about growing. So imagine you had this piece of string, and it was, as you were getting older, it was getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So that's what she's been living with. So this behavior is completely understandable. Is she going to get adopted is the first thing. I mean, I'd barely caught her with Sybil, and people were saying you can't put her back on the streets. You have to get her adopted. We are so far away from that right now. It's not even funny. Like, that is not on my list of considerations. What we need to do is, first of all, fix her neck. Second of all, see if we can get her to be friendly and sociable. And this is a several months journey, at least weeks, if not months. And she might be so badly damaged that there isn't a lot of hope for her. It isn't possible to save her, but I mean, it is possible to save her, but it might not be possible to totally socialize her. She might always have some psychological issues, some tendencies where she lashes out, but we'll see. We're hopeful, but adoption is not our top priority at the moment, in terms of the way we're thinking. I'm just going to move back into the corner here, madam. I'm not even looking at you. So my body language now is just, I've got my back to her. Now, I could get bitten on the back, and that would make an interesting video. You'd hear me crying in pain. A dog bite is, I can't even explain the pain of a proper dog bite. It's horrible. Feels like it goes right down into your bone, the teeth. But I'm hoping by sitting with my back to her, I'm no threat to her whatsoever. I'm giving her nice treats, and I'm trying to speak in as calm a voice as I possibly can. But there we go. Now, madam, we're doing well together, aren't we? We're doing well. I'm not here to harm you. I'm not here to harm you. I'm just here to bring you nice treats and little bits of sausage. That's all. I'll give you your little food pile over there. I'm hoping this video is not too boring for people to watch, but it just gives you an insight into, I think sometimes if you watch, like a reel on Instagram or a YouTube short, you see the story in 60 seconds, and it's from disaster to happiness, and that's not real life. This is real life. So for the 10 people who are still watching at this stage, this is what it's really like to help dogs. Isn't that right, Stella? I mean, you're going to be good friends. Are we going to be good friends? She's shaking a little bit. She's got a lot to take in. You can see her little teeth. Her little leg is just sort of backing up on her teeth. She's trying to show her teeth a little bit to me, but no, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to be your friend, madam. I'm here to be your friend. I'm just looking at the wound on her neck, and it's horrific, is the only way I can describe that, little Stella. It's horrific. And it's ripe for getting infected with flies and just generally being out in the air, because it's such a big, deep, open wound. So we really need to clean that. Will you have a little treat? It's a treat, madam. It's a treat. I'll put it down there, look. She's a very scared little girl. I think this is one where we're gonna have a part 2, because she's so defensive at the moment that this is her whole entire little world. She's just gonna rest in here. She's got her water. We've got a couple of fans on her, and she's gonna slowly decompress. But I really think this is a video that's probably going to take 2 to 3 weeks to process in terms of her improvement. But what I'm doing now is I'm just using this, it's just like basically a towel, I guess, or a soft bed. I think you can see on her neck now just how bad that is. She's tucked herself into the wall. But I find with the towel, it's just kind of, you'll see she's showing her teeth. And that means that she's, you know, she's defensive. There's no doubt about that. But what I find about the towel is if you just rub it on her, it's just showing her that we're not threatening. I could eventually, you know, in a couple of days, I'll be able to do that with my hand. But at the moment, you can see she's not snapping at the towel. She even thinks it's like a little bit of, there you go. She's obviously very scared, but I just, again, I'm not a dog trainer. I'm making this stuff up. But I feel like in the past, this has worked as something that, it's not human touch, but it's kind of a little bit of touch that shows her that not everything is going to be bad. She's grabbing onto it. If I was to show her, like my hand, for example, you can see her, she'd go for that in a heartbeat. But the little towel is not too bad, isn't it? It's enough for day one, isn't it? Isn't it? Little Stella. It's enough for day one, but when we were getting her out of the cage, when she was in the vet, she was full on like, trying to like absolutely go for us. Now she can see she's softening up her approach. And before long, in a couple of days' time, with a nice reassuring voice, that will be my hand in there, hopefully. Won't it? What if I put my hand there now? You don't like that, do you? That's what is just a little bit too soon. But you can see, it might not look like loads of progress today, but I think that's massive progress. What we're going to do now is just close the door, get the fans on her. She's got her treats out there. Nothing surer than when we're about 30 seconds down there, she'll nibble at those treats and she's just going to decompress even more. So I'm very proud of her. I know you'd love to come in here and by the end of it be stroking it and rubbing her belly, but this is a dog who's only 8 months old and she's had endless trauma in her life. But you can see, I think that's big progress. Good girl. You just want to pick her up and absolutely give her the biggest hug in the world. I'm going to slowly get out now and leave her here to relax, and we'll spoil her for the rest of the day. So from little Stella and me, I'm very proud of her. She's done well.